struggle, effort, and optimism. Winning is fun, but winning alone is not everything. It is wanting to win, not giving up, never being satisfied until you achieve your goal. It is my honor to welcome you all in this spectacular day where we are celebrating our achievements of our students. This is the day we have been waiting for. Together, let us witness and enjoy the beauty of this day. The Jubilation Day for the periodic test 2, a rainbow of colorful programs. On this evening, filled with hopes, dreams and excitement, let me call forth Priscilla from class 3G to welcome our honorable guests and parents to this special event.
Good evening to all. Learning to celebrate success is so key to learning how to keep winning. Today we are here to celebrate what we have achieved and to raise the bar a little higher. It gives me an immense pleasure in presenting the welcome speech for this momentous occasion, the Jubilation Day of Velammal, Bodhi, Kolapakkam. I believe that everyone present here is in good health and are looking forward for today's event. I extend a very warm welcome to one and all present here with the blessings of our chairman sir who have been always an inspiration to all and under whom this program is initiated. I welcome our director sir and director ma'am who have been the source of encouragement and offered the best learning environment for students. Hearty welcome sir and ma'am. Indeed, I take great pride and honor in welcoming our school heads and teachers who have been instrumental in guiding us and a child-friendly mother to us. They have worked endlessly to shape our young minds. They inspire, hope, enlighten us and infuse a passion for learning. Welcome dear teachers. This incredible ceremony would not be possible if not for all parents. I take this golden opportunity in welcoming each and every parent who have taken time out of their busy schedule and have gathered here to make this day more special and memorable. Hearty welcome parents. Last but certainly not the least, I extend a warm welcome to all my friends, the proud students of Velammal, Bodhi, Kolapakkam. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Prayer is a blessing, prayer is power, prayer is life. Let us invoke the blessings of Almighty with a prayer song. We have Subiksha of class 4F to sing the prayer song.
Dear God, please keep me happy today. Help me to be bright, cheerful and gay. Help me to do the things you want me to be to others kind and good. My parents, teachers and friends to bless and keep us all in happiness. Dear God, please keep me happy today. Help me to be bright, cheerful and gay. Help me to do the things you want me to be to others kind and good. My parents, teachers and friends to bless and keep us all in happiness. And keep us all in happiness. And keep us all in happiness.
Dance is the language of our soul. We have Tejasri of class 3E to appease Almighty with a puja dance.
Tatum tagadum kidadagata junudam tajunudim tatajam tatajam tajam tajunudam tajunudim tatum tagadom kidadaga tajunutam tajunudim tatajam tatajam tajam tajunutam tajunudim tatom tagadom kidadaga tajunutam tajunudim tatajam tatajam tajam tajunutam tajunudim tatom tagadom kidadaga tajunutam tajunudim tatajam tatajam tajam tajunutam tajunudim tam tajam tarigidadagadим tajam tarigidadagadom tajam tarigidadaganam tajam tarigidadaga tam tam tajam tarigidadagadим dim tajam tarigidadagadom dom tajam tarigidadaganam nam tajam tarigidadagadam tarigidadim tarigidadom tarigidadam tagattattajam 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 tagajonatam tagattattajam 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 tagajonatam tattarigidadi tarigidatom tarigidanam tarigidadim dim dim tadim takajam takanam takarattarigidadi tarigidatom tarigidanam tarigidadim dim dim tadim takajam takanam ஓம்காரநாத வடிவான பெருமானே ஐந்து கரத்தானே முக கற்பக விநாயகனே ஓம்காரநாத வடிவான பெருமானே ஐந்து கரத்தானே முக கற்பக விநாயகனே ஓம்காரநாத வடிவான பெருமானே ஐந்து கரத்தானே முக கற்பக விநாயகனே ஐந்து கரத்தானே முக கற்பக விநாயகனே ஓங்காரநாத வடிவான பெருமானே ஐந்து
Thank you, Tejasri, for the graceful performance. Now, I call upon Mrs. Renisha ma'am to call out the names of jubilant winners of grade 3.
Very proud to announce that Girishma has scored centum in all the 4 subjects and bagged first rank. Aman Nazar Shah has scored centum in all the 4 subjects and bagged first rank. Bhagavad has secured centum in all the 4 subjects and bagged first rank. Abid Prem Kumar has secured centum in all the subjects and bagged first rank. Sai Charan has secured centum in all the 4 subjects and bagged first rank. Danvin Srigari has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Arav of class 3 has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Ashwin Gopinath of 3 has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Mahima Kesia has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Akhilesh has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Anupama of 3rd has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Loshini has bagged second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Mrilalini has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Nandika has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Anandi has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Sai Kaushika has bagged second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Samiha has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Shiva Kirtana has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Tejasri has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Kavinaya has secured second rank by scoring 398 on 400. Fariha Farheen has bagged third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Shrinika has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Joel Antobelvin of class 3 has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Tejeshwar has bagged third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Nandini has bagged third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Danvin Raj has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Kevin Dio has bagged third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Riddle has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Danyashri has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Saira Mahati has bagged third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Arjun Karthik has secured third rank by scoring 396 out of 400. Lakshaya has bagged third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Chris Mario Jaden has scored 396 and seeking third rank. Ananya has secured third rank by scoring 396 out of 400. Kudalini Poyamuri has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Mahita has secured third rank by scoring 396 on 400. Monish S has secured 395 on 400. Gautam Karthavel P has secured 395 out of 400. Vijayanti B has secured 395 out of 400. Harshit U has secured 394 out of 400. Mithun RS has secured 394 out of 400. Tanush Kumar A has secured 394 out of 400. Anandita S has secured 394 out of 400. Mabel Fiona has secured 394 out of 400. Vibha ES has secured 394 out of 400. Anirudh B has scored 394 out of 400. Videsh A has scored 394 out of 400. Vishruth R has scored 394 out of 400. Shravan R has secured 394 out of 400. Kavin P has scored 394 out of 400. Sai Nikhil Channareddy has secured 393 out of 400. Kirtan Srinivas has secured 393 out of 400. Sashwin Sarvesh has scored 393 out of 400. Akshita Shri has scored 393 out of 400. Ajay K has scored 393 out of 400. Kesia Josephine has secured 393 out of 400. Karun S has scored 393 out of 400. Vidya ME has scored 392 out of 400. Japesh S has scored 392 out of 400. R. Yashika Shri has secured 392 out of 400. Akhilan R has scored 391 out of 400. Mahat Vishradhan has secured 391 out of 400. Melvina Stephanie has secured 390 out of 400. Dhanush Kritik has secured 390 out of 400. Vin Mugilan has scored 390 out of 400. Samyukta Prasad has secured 390 out of 400. Pranav AP has scored 390 out of 400. Darshini V has scored 390 out of 400. Iniyadurai has secured 390 out of 400. Kasini Shri has secured 390 out of 400. Niranjana has secured 390 out of 400. Don Benjamin has scored 390 out of 400. Anish P has scored 389 out of 400. Harshita K has scored 389 out of 400. Kavintra has secured 389 out of 400. Jashwant Nicholas has scored 389 out of 400. Viven Raj NP has scored 389 out of 400. Ranga Varunika has scored 389 out of 400. Nadira S has secured 388 out of 400. Kasturi A has scored 388 out of 400. Abhijit Shasta has scored 387 out of 400. Krishant Ramesh Sharma has scored 387 out of 400. Ranshika Shri has scored 387 out of 400. Saket Alam has secured 386 out of 400. Mritula G has secured 386 out of 400. Shanmati B has scored 386 out of 400. Pranita K has scored 386 out of 400. Sri Laya has scored 386 out of 400. Sai Surya Niralla has scored 385 out of 400. Gautam KR has scored 385 out of 400. Ritesh Vijay has scored 385 out of 400. Sai Aditya has scored 385 out of 400. Srijit has scored 385 out of 400. Sanjana T has scored 385 out of 400. Mithun B has scored 384 out of 400. Pragati has scored 384 out of 400. Kavya G has scored 384 out of 400. Harshita N of grade 3 has secured 384 out of 400. Vedika Virshini of grade 3 has scored 384 out of 400. KM Vishwaraj has secured 384 out of 400. Priscilla Vernisha has scored 384 out of 400. Aksharan C has scored 383 out of 400. Nitish Ram has scored 383 out of 400. Ajay Sairam RN has scored 383 out of 400. Ovia has scored 383 on 400. Eunice Selvia has secured 382 out of 400. Vijay Krishna has scored 382 out of 400. Someshwar has scored 382 out of 400. Pranavi has scored 382 out of 400. Sanjana Devi has scored 382 out of 400. Josh Godwin has secured 382 out of 400. Saravanan K has scored 381 out of 400. Pragyatmika has scored 381 out of 400. Kavya has scored 381 out of 400. Kartikesh has scored 381 out of 400. Guru Charan Reddy has scored 380 out of 400. Rashmita has scored 380 out of 400. Varshini D has scored 380 on 400. Mohita K has scored 380 on 400. Mokshika S has scored 380 on 400. Vedavarna has scored 380 on 400. Divarshini has scored 380 on 400. Inian has scored 380 on 400. Kanishka D has scored 380 on 400. Anushri has scored 379 on 400. Jeevithan has scored 379 out of 400. Sagasra has secured 379 out of 400. Shakti has scored 379 out of 400. Anusha SM has scored 378 out of 400. Magir Yarini has scored 378 out of 400. Prabhanjan KS has scored 378 out of 400. Dhanush Raj has secured 377 out of 400. Vishrut CS has secured 377 out of 400. Danshika R has secured 376 out of 400. Jovita has scored 376 on 400. Rishita yes has scored 376 on 400. Nimalan has scored 375 out of 400. Rajit yes has scored 375 out of 400. Sai Praneeth has secured 375 out of 400. Sai Raghavan has scored 375 out of 400. Divya Darshana has scored 375 out of 400. Viveka has scored 374 on 400. GB Jose has scored 374 out of 400. Kishore Srinivas has secured 374 on 400. Kartika Meenakshi has secured 374 on 400. Harshita has secured 374 out of 400. Nayana Naveen has scored 373 out of 400. Siddharth has scored 373 out of 400. Tate Sai Shri has scored 373 out of 400. Vimalan has scored 373 out of 400. Tanvi Akshaya has scored 372 out of 400. Yuvasan has scored 372 out of 400. Harita KG has secured 372 out of 400. Reshma B has scored 372 on 400. Srinisha N has scored 371 out of 400. Gaurav has secured 371 out of 400. Chatura has secured 370 out of 400. Kasvi has secured 370 on 400. Yachana Ponshri has secured 370 out of 400. Monesh G has secured 370 on 400. Manushri has scored 370 out of 400. Sairam has secured 370 out of 400. Darshan E has secured 369 out of 400. Akshaya B has scored 369 out of 400. Dheeraj has scored 369 out of 400. Saraswati has scored 369 out of 400. Harshad has scored 368 out of 400. Niharika Menon has scored 367 out of 400. Surya Prasad has scored 367 out of 400. Yudhajit has scored 367 out of 400. Sashrik Aita has secured 366 out of 400. Kritik B has scored 366 out of 400. Roshan V has scored 366 out of 400. Nakshatra D has scored 366 out of 400. Bennett Sampal has scored 366 out of 400. Hemashri has scored 366 out of 400. Anushka Nayak has scored 365 out of 400. Kasvi has secured 365 out of 400. Adiyan has scored 365 out of 400. Kavinya has secured 365 out of 400. Pratyush P. Warrior has scored 364 out of 400. Catherine Ratna has secured 364 out of 400. Magati has secured 364 out of 400. Haresh Vijay has scored 364 out of 400. Rajashri has scored 364 out of 400. Sarah Josh has secured 364 out of 400. Ashwin Karthik has secured 363 out of 400. Santosh has scored 363 out of 400. Yagnesh Gautam has scored 363 out of 400. Chalita has scored 362 out of 400. Kavin Srinivasan has scored 362 out of 400. Akshat has scored 362 out of 400. Vaibhav has scored 362 out of 400. Lakshita P has scored 361 out of 400. Sai Shravan has scored 360 out of 400. Arjun has scored 360 out of 400. Joel Samuel has secured 360 on 400. Thank you.
I now request Mrs. Amlisha Ma'am to call out the names of students of grade 4 who have made us proud.
Pranav Kumaran of class 4 has secured the first rank with a score of 398 on 400. Srinath Suresh Warrior of class 4 has secured the first rank with a score of 398 on 400. Felicia Azmat Farain of class 4 has secured the first rank with a score of 398 on 400. Nitesh of class 4 has secured the first rank with a score of 398 on 400. Lokadarshan of class 4 has secured the first rank with a score of 398 on 400. Hansika Phillips of class 4 has secured the first rank with a score of 398 on 400. Darsharan Prasad of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Ebin Joji of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Dev of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Kathleen of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Leah of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Liana Venantius of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Yalini of class 4 has secured the second rank with a score of 396 on 400. Sri Vijay of class 4 has secured the third rank with a score of 395 on 400. Daksh of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Sahasrasri of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400.
Sanjana of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400.
Anandakannan of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. G. Mahiki of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Deeksha of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Suji of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Balaselvamani of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Jaitra of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Zara Dino of class 4 has secured with a score of 394 on 400. Akshat Balasubramani of class 4 has secured with a score of 393 on 400. Kirtana of class 4 has secured with a score of 392 on 400. Sahiti Polakonda of class 4 has secured with a score of 392 on 400. Pranav of class 4 has secured with a score of 392 on 400. Prajit of class 4 has secured with a score of 392 on 400. Anika of class 4 has secured with a score of 391 on 400. Jonisha of class 4 has secured with a score of 391 on 400. Rishabh of class 4 has secured with a score of 390 on 400. Kavya of class 4 has secured with a score of 390 on 400. Sahana of class 4 has secured with a score of 390 on 400. Kavya of class 4 has secured with a score of 390 on 400. Dikshita of class 4 has secured with a score of 390 on 400. Ashwant of class 4 has secured with a score of 390 on 400. Kaushika of class 4 has secured with a score of 389 on 400. Niranjan of class 4 has secured with a score of 389 on 400. Edina Grace of class 4 has secured with a score of 388 on 400. Anian of class 4 has secured with a score of 388 on 400. Sai Sarvesh of class 4 has secured with a score of 388 on 400. Mridula of class 4 has secured with a score of 388 on 400. Rishi of class 4 has secured with a score of 388 on 400. Hemavashni of class 4 has secured with a score of 387 on 400. Aryan of class 4 has secured with a score of 387 on 400. Dia of class 4 has secured with a score of 387 on 400. Samartha of class 4 has secured with a score of 387 on 400. Bhavisha of class 4 has secured with a score of 386 on 400. Mehashri of class 4 has secured with a score of 386 on 400. Siddharth of class 4 has secured with a score of 386 on 400. Lara of class 4 has secured with a score of 386 on 400. Nityashri of class 4 has secured with a score of 386 on 400. Samantha of class 4 has secured with a score of 386 on 400. Adam Shafilla of class 4 has secured with a score of 385 on 400. Varun Vishwa of class 4 has secured with a score of 385 on 400. Dakshin Balaji of class 4 has secured with a score of 384 on 400. Akshay Kumar of class 4 has secured with a score of 384 on 400. Srinivas of class 4 has secured with a score of 384 on 400. Yashita of class 4 has secured with a score of 383 on 400. Salai Sanjeevani of class 4 has secured with a score of 382 on 400. Abhinav of class 4 has secured with a score of 382 on 400. Samuel Devraj of class 4 has secured with a score of 382 on 400. Ridhimra of class 4 has secured with a score of 380 on 400. Sarvesh of class 4 has secured with a score of 380 on 400. Praveen Kumar of class 4 has secured with a score of 380 on 400. Sanjana of class 4 has secured with a score of 380 on 400. Sai Shivani of class 4 has secured with a score of 380 on 400. Mahilan of class 4 has secured with a score of 379 on 400. Gana Litik Babu of class 4 has secured with a score of 378 on 400. Salai Padivadana of class 4 has secured with a score of 378 on 400. Subiksha of class 4 has secured with a score of 378 on 400. Sandra Antheline of class 4 has secured with the score of 377 on 400. Meghna Marin of class 4 has secured with the score of 377 on 400. Sadhana of class 4 has secured with the score of 377 on 400. Dikshan of class 4 has secured with the score of 376 on 400. Leandra Joanne of class 4 has secured with the score of 376 on 400. Keshav of class 4 has secured with the score of 376 on 400. Srimadi of class 4 has secured with the score of 376 on 400. Prithvi Vasan of class 4 has secured with the score of 376 on 400. Sai Kaushik of class 4 has secured with the score of 375 on 400. Sai Lalit Kurapachi of class 4 has secured with the score of 374 on 400. Tarunika of class 4 has secured with the score of 374 on 400. Harish of class 4 has secured with the score of 374 on 400. Jonas Kaplan of class 4 has secured with the score of 374 on 400. Sivacharan of class 4 has secured with the score of 373 on 400. Jibina Jose of class 4 has secured with the score of 373 on 400. Misty of class 4 has secured with the score of 372 on 400. Gideon Ubred Samuel of class 4 has secured with the score of 372 on 400. Shivani of class 4 has secured with the score of 372 on 400. Matish Ram of class 4 has secured with the score of 371 on 400. Dashika of class 4 has secured with the score of 371 on 400. Arjun of class 4 has secured with the score of 371 on 400. Harish of class 4 has secured with the score of 371 on 400. Mahirvadini of class 4 has secured with the score of 370 on 400. Niharika of class 4 has secured with the score of 369 on 400. Darsha of class 4 has secured with the score of 369 on 400. Gaurav Vipli of class 4 has secured with the score of 368 on 400. Ritanya of class 4 has secured with the score of 368 on 400. Diyash of class 4 has secured with the score of 368 on 400. Aditi of class 4 has secured with the score of 367 on 400. Sai Ajish of class 4 has secured with the score of 367 on 400. Krishiv Sachis of class 4 has secured with the score of 367 on 400. Nikhil Kumawat of class 4 has secured with the score of 366 on 400. Karthik of class 4 has secured with the score of 366 on 400. Kirvashni of class 4 has secured with the score of 366 on 400. Sri Dashini of class 4 has secured with the score of 366 on 400. Dwarakesh of class 4 has secured with the score of 366 on 400. Harshad Bala of class 4 has secured with the score of 365 on 400. Gopicharan of class 4 has secured with the score of 365 on 400. Charan of class 4 has secured with the score of 364 on 400. Lakshana of class 4 has secured with the score of 364 on 400. Sai Ishwar of class 4 has secured with the score of 363 on 400. Sridhara of class 4 has secured with the score of 363 on 400. Vinaya of class 4 has secured with the score of 363 on 400. Dikshita of class 4 has secured with the score of 363 on 400. Levishma Sharan of class 4 has secured with the score of 363 on 400. Aradhya of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Dishani of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Divakaran of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Kannan of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Fiona Abraham of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Meena Ashmita of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Akshaya of class 4 has secured with the score of 362 on 400. Santosh Anderson of class 4 has secured with the score of 361 on 400. Prajin of class 4 has secured with the score of 361 on 400. Roshni of class 4 has secured with the score of 361 on 400. Adarsh of class 4 has secured with the score of 361 on 400. Kevin Sanjay of class 4 has secured with the score of 361 on 400. Rituvan of class 4 has secured with the score of 360 on 400. Pranekto of class 4 has secured with the score of 360 on 400. Pramod of class 4 has secured with the score of 360 on 400. Bhuvaneshwaran of class 4 has secured with the score of 360 on 400. Sanjana of class 4 has secured with the score of 360 on 400.
Mr. Balaji sir is here to proudly announce the students of grade 5 toppers.
Chidambaram of grade 5 who secured first rank. Krish Mutaya of grade 5 who secured first rank. Shahana Karthikeyan of grade 5 secured first rank. Satvika of grade 5 who secured first rank. Ananya of grade 5 who secured first rank. Diksha of grade 5 who secured first rank. Mohanesh of grade 5 who secured second rank. Sanjit of grade 5 secured second rank. Harni of grade 5 secured second rank. Kanish Karthikeya of grade 5 secured second rank. Naurin of grade 5 secured second rank. Pavishna of grade 5 secured second rank. Hamshini of grade 5 secured second rank. Rhea P. Menon of grade 5 secured second rank. Steve Varshita of grade 5 secured second rank. Harshit of grade 5 secured third rank. Vaibhav of grade 5 secured third rank. Ilakya of grade 5 secured third rank. Diya of grade 5 secured third rank. Lohit of grade 5 secured third rank. Mitran of grade 5 secured third rank. Girish of 5A who secures 395 out of 400. Mitra of 5A who secures 395 out of 400. Sai Hajit of 5B who secures 395 out of 400. Vivita of 5D who secures 394 out of 400. Sharvesh of 5E who secures 394 out of 400. Durga of 5D who secures 393 out of 400. Dharnesh of 5C who secured 392 out of 400. Lokesh of 5C who secures 392 out of 400. Sugant of 5D who secured 392 out of 400. Prajna of 5D who secured 392 out of 400. Kritik Harun of 5C who secured 391 out of 400. Pooja of 5D who secured 390 out of 400. Kainesh of 5E who secures 390 out of 400. Vashigran of 5E who secured 390 out of 400. Dashim Sharin of 5E who secured 390 out of 400. Darshini of 5C who secures 383 out of 400. Nadine of 5E who secured 389 out of 400. Nitika of 5E who secured 389 out of 400. Amit Parekar of 5A who secured 388 out of 400. Danyasri of 5E who secured 388 out of 400. Prakriti of 5D who secured 387 out of 400. Deepak Venkateshan of 5A who secured 386 out of 400. Nikhilesh Ram of 5B who secured 386 out of 400. Kevin of 5C who secured 386 out of 400. Petrina Rosario of 5E who secured 386 out of 400. Vishnu Lakshmi of 5C who secured 385 out of 400. Danchika of 5E who secured 385 out of 400. Ashwint of 5A who secured 384 out of 400. Ayush of 5B who secured 384 out of 400. Tazeen of 5C who secures 384 out of 400. Kabiksha of 5C who secures 384 out of 400. Swaroop of 5D who secured 384 out of 400. Isha Maria Jijo of 5D who secured 383 out of 400. Mahasri of 5B who secured 383 out of 400. Kumaran of 5D who secured 383 out of 400. Pranav of 5B, who secured 382 out of 400. Sai Sriram of 5B, who secured 382 out of 400. Taman of 5B, who secured 382 out of 400. Ashwin Aditya of 5C, who secured 382 out of 400. Jai Sarvana of 5C, who secured 382 out of 400. Bhavisha of 5A, who secured 381 out of 400. Dhanvant of 5C, who secured 381 out of 400. Tashwin of 5C, who secured 381 out of 400. Hasini of 5C, who secured 381 out of 400. Sarvesh of 5D, who secures 381 out of 400. Nikshaya of 5D, who secures 381 out of 400. Tachita of 5E, who secures 381 out of 400. Kanishka of 5A, who secures 380 out of 400. Vishwajanani of 5B, who secures 380 out of 400. Arvind Raj of 5C, who secures 380 out of 400. Jonathan of 5A, who secures 379 out of 400. Amarish of 5D, who secures 379 out of 400. Shobit of 5D, who secured 379 out of 400. Vaishnavi of 5D, who secures 379 out of 400. Yubhashna of 5E, who secured 379 out of 400. Pranati of 5C, who secured 378 out of 400. Kamlesh of 5A, who secures 377 out of 400. Devmitran of 5D, who secured 377 out of 400. Sarvesh of 5D, who secured 377 out of 400. Reyadarva of 5A, who secured 376 out of 400. Vashni Reddy of 5C, who secured 376 out of 400. Abhay Krishnan of 5A, who secured 375 out of 400. Bhagyashree of 5A, who secured 375 out of 400. Shravan Chidambaram of 5B, who secured 375 out of 400. Manonit of 5B, who secured 375 out of 400. Shaktishri of 5B, who secured 374 out of 400. Kenisha Shri of 5E, who secured 374 out of 400. Mritina Kishore of 5B, who secured 373 out of 400. Yogit of 5C, who secured 373 out of 400. Sudiksha of 5C, who secured 373 out of 400. Abhinav of 5A, who secured 372 out of 400. Balabhargav Reddy of 5B, who secured 372 out of 400. Harjit of 5C, who secured 372 out of 400. Vaibhav of 5C, who secured 372 out of 400. Sai Roshan of 5D, who secured 372 out of 400. Sai Sujana of 5A, who secured 371 out of 400. Vaishnavi of 5D, who secured 371 out of 400. Sachin of 5B, who secured 370 out of 400. Joshita of 5B, who secured 369 out of 400. Prem Kumar of 5E, who secured 369 out of 400. Claret of 5E, who secured 369 out of 400. Sharvan of 5E, who secured 367 out of 400. Harish of 5C, who secured 367 out of 400. Raghav of 5D, who secured 367 out of 400. And Deborah of 5D, who secured 367 out of 400. Raghavi of 5D, who secured 367 out of 400. Sana of 5D, who secured 367 out of 400. Lokranjan of 5A, who secured 366 out of 400. Kritika Reddy of 5A, who secured 366 out of 400. Tushika of 5D, who secured 366 out of 400. Kishore of 5D, who secured 365 out of 400. Janita Sri of 5D, who secured 365 out of 400. Sampriti of 5A, who secured 364 out of 400. Joshika of 5B, who secured 364 out of 400. Lakshana of 5A, who secured 363 out of 400. Lokesh Shankar of 5B who secured 363 out of 400. Lokdarshini of 5C who secured 363 out of 400. Sri Akshara of 5D who secured 363 out of 400. Dyotna of 5A who secured 362 out of 400. Jashviha of 5C who secured 362 out of 400. Rakshita Sri of 5C who secured 362 out of 400. Hemania of 5D who secured 362 out of 400. Sistika of 5A who secured 361 out of 400. Santosh KS of 5D who secured 361 out of 400. Hariharan of 5E who secured 361 out of 400. Satvika Sri of 5E who secured 361 out of 400. Sauda Fatima of 5A who secured 360 out of 400. Wafika of 5A who secured 360 out of 400.
It is with immense pride and joy that we congratulate each and every student who has been appreciated here today. A word of gratitude makes difference in our attitude. As we come to the end of our event, it is time to show our gratitude to everyone present here. I request Noren N to deliver the vote of thanks.
I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving the glory of Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. Once a great man whispered, feeling thankfulness and not expressing it, it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. It is believed that it is not the place but the people that make event worth remembering. We have proved it again. On behalf of all students, teachers and management of Velammal Bodhi campus Kolapakkam, I would like to thank our respected chairman sir who was blessed for this momentous occasion. A special mention to our beloved director sir and director ma'am for standing as pillars of our strength. With a deep sense of gratitude, we thank you for your support and guidance. Thank you sir, thank you ma'am. I am immensely thankful to our school heads for inspiring us to come forward with zeal and dedication. Behind every success event lies the effort of our committed faculty members. Thank you teachers for your immense contribution and enormous cooperation. Finally, it is important that we acknowledge the unconditional love and support of our parents. Where we stand today is the combination of your whole hard work and efforts, and we know that we can go further with great confidence that you will be there with us to celebrate our victories. I would like to end my speech with William Shakespeare's quote. I can no other answer make but thanks and thanks. Once again, I would like to thank all for your support in making this event a grand success. Thank you all.